Begin ons
Hallo,
weer met goeienaand mense.
aangenaam.
Goeienaand JJ. Ag JJ. JJ. Die verkeerde letters daar
Hey,
weet.
hey.
Mr. JJ.
Yes, I'm gonna switch back for to English for this week's episode. You're welcome to continue in your native
In
tongue,
Afrikaans.
in Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Yeah. So how was your week been? How are things going?
Okay, so the 22nd of March, I'm preparing for an event. So we slowly but surely starting to train for the stations, the labor stations they calling it, and a bit of running.
Yeah.
So, but I've pulled my hammy last Friday, so it's
Hammy.
been a struggle. Yeah, my hammy, the big
Mm,
hamster
your
pulled
hand's
his
hammy.
hammy. So hele fucking gemors. But
Yeah.
anyways, pulled my hammy, so I've been struggling with this hammy, and then obviously, when you have a physical, you can call it disability or pain or whatever, then the emotions involved, and then also your mindset.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good when everything goes according to plan, but it's a different game when you can call it the world and everything is against you, and then to still have that positive mindset and moving forward mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this week was basically that because in between that as well, I was sick as well. I just came from month end, year end with my business and everything. So it's the and
Yeah. Busy week.
and a busy week. So no, my wife is talking in the background, and then I don't know what she's saying.
Uh, yeah. So on that note, you've also set a challenge for myself to complete, which I reluctantly agreed to and can get now.
Reluctantly, you mean you were forced into?
Yes, yes. Well, they
Okay,
didn't.
can I tell the viewers what
Yes.
challenge I said to you,
Yeah.
JJ?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So just to give a bit of background, so last year, this time I think in a week or two, um, I did a 6 times 7 kilometer walk. So it was basically every 4 hours, you walk about 7 kilometers. And then for 6 rounds. So it's basically like a 24-hour thing. So I did it to actually, my father was in the hospital during that time on his deathbed. And the only thing that was reasonable in my head was to do something physical that will be difficult, that will be fighting and in a way also cause me pain,
Hmm.
but in a tangible way doing something to carry his pain with him.
Yeah.
What I have experienced during that walks was firstly, I involved my family, um, especially my wife as well. Um, and in the beginning, it's obviously the first walks, it's all fun and games,
Yeah.
but you get to a stage where your body doesn't want to work with you anymore. And
Especially
then
12 o'clock at night.
it goes into the mental game. And as you know, once you are tired or your body is resisting, the story in your head starts turning against you. So then you want to make all these excuses and trying to go for everything to get out of the situation.
Hmm.
You don't want to do it anymore. So I've experienced that during that time. Um, I want to say like a revelation. And obviously the days after that, it wasn't yet a win because I was like angry with myself and all the emotions and blah blah blah. But a week or 2 or 3 weeks after that, I saw the value in it because
Yeah.
I still believe that you need to get to a point of a breaking point where your body is no more, and then your mind, and then in that struggle, you find something.
Yeah.
So with you that has done so well with your sobriety and approaching 4 months, 4 months?
Yeah, I think we're three
Yeah.
days away from 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then also with you also getting more fit and everything, and that you haven't yet during this period actually set yourself a endurance race or endurance activity. So I said, or I challenged JJ to take on the 6 rounds of 7 kilometers.
Yeah.
And like he said, he reluctantly accepted. So I still waiting for a date from him.
That will happen
But
on
once we have a date,
the
um,
22nd of March.
you're gonna do it on the same day that I'm doing mine.
22nd of March.
Okay, that's awesome. That's flipping cool.
Yeah.
Um, so there you heard it first, the 22nd of March. JJ is gonna take on the challenge. He's gonna do 6 rounds every 4 hours, about 6.77 kilometers. That is basically in 24 hours.
Do you know,
So
you didn't specify if we are walking uphill or downhill or flat or reverse?
you can whatever is comfortable for you. But you said something about you're gonna have like a weight pack on of 25 kilograms.
I made a joke about it.
Now, so the time that I did it, I was about 140 kilograms. So I think we must up it to like 40 kilograms.
Yes, maybe.
I don't want to give away your weight, but yeah, I think it's about 40 kilograms.
Yeah, I'm about 90, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, just see, crazy. But yeah, so I'm gonna ask you, JJ. So because I want to see the what went through your head and the story that you started telling yourself when I mentioned it for the first time. I want to know that the
It's
thoughts that went through your head.
immediate. Just sorry, Carla.
Yeah.
Jy gaan die kar kyk.
Huh?
The car.
My car.
The car.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Jou motorvoertuig.
Yeah, no, it was immediate. The first you immediate start looking for excuses.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh well, I'm moving next week, and then I don't know, maybe we're still unpacking, and there's immediately resistance. It was the first thing that came up. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it is something I need to do. And then there's a little bit of excitement. To the point where I think it's a good thing to do. But yes, first thought was definitely some resistance and some doubt.
So
Yeah.
I think we talk a lot about that little leaps of faith.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be not a little leap of faith. This is actually going to be one of those big jumps.
Yeah.
It's like standing on high ground and trying to jump into a river. It's going to be a big leap.
It's going to be
But
fun. I think I'm going to make it as fun as possible for myself. I'll
yes,
make a few videos, and I'll maybe do a live
nice.
because I'm going
No,
to
I think people will enjoy it. If you can maybe post a few videos
Yeah,
or
100%. Because I'll be walking through the night in South African time. So daytime you're in South
it's going
Africa.
to be day and night, both sides.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how that pans out.
I think it's going to be. I think the biggest wins in life is that last minute wins.
Yeah.
I think you're setting yourself up for one that you will remember, and I wanted to give that to you. Obviously, it's in your hands or in your feet.
Yeah.
But I can see that fighter in you. It's not the easy thing to stop drinking. If you've drank for 20 years in your life, to stop and stand firm on that.
20 plus, not just 20.
20 plus. Okay, 20, 50. It's a freaking long time. So what I want to say is that decision and to keep to that decision. That's why I have a firm, like, I'm 100% sure that you will do it.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
going back. I'm not going back. There's no way I'm going back there. Yeah, I think I wanna. Shall we change tune a little bit?
yeah,
Um, so as you know, I have been, or maybe you don't know, but I've been since my sobriety have been deep diving into psychology to try and understand what's happening with me, what's happened in the past, what's how this works. And through this deep dive, I came across DBT, which has some good things. I came across Carl Jung, came across a guy called Eldler. Um, what else? There was just a lot of Jordan Peterson. It was just I did a lot of spent a lot of time reading and watching YouTube, and then I came across this theory of fixed mindset versus growth mindset, and then not one light went on. It was like a plethora of lights that went on. It was like a Christmas tree.
that's awesome, man.
Yes, and things just started falling into place, and I started thinking back to when I was caught in that perpetual circle of drinking and what I was doing at the time, and how it matches up 100% with a fixed mind state. It is that mind state of you just believing that this is the way it's going to get. You are there's nothing else out there for you. You are accepting that this is your life. There's nothing. Maybe once or twice or you might do something a little bit out of the norm, but majority that story that you keep telling yourself, it's not going to go anywhere.
It's in that box.
It's in that box, and only once.
In,
No, go ahead.
in that box, there is no leaps of faith.
No, and only once you've accepted the growth mindset, where there's all of a sudden there's all these possibilities. There's new adventures. There is a different way of thinking. Then you start taking those leaps of faith.
So, what I have seen also with my journey is that precisely that is that when you're in that, like you normally call it a cycle, is that you can't look further than the bottle. So
No.
you're actually trapped in that prison that you don't see forward growing because you don't have that foreseeing of something that's brighter in the future or
No.
other people or other business or other. It's just you're trapped in that mindset, and you call it a fixed mindset.
It's a fixed mindset. It's a comfort zone.
And I think you don't see yourself in that. Where we are now, we are monitoring our thoughts. We are monitoring ourselves. We are seeing ourselves outside of our body.
Yes.
So when we do certain things, we are seeing our awareness.
Yeah.
We have now self-awareness because we have a target. It's a moving target, but at least we are hitting at the target. We don't know always what the target is or how big it is, but we have a target. So it's little small targets that we set ourselves, but that allows you to think forward.
Yes.
And that is that.
It's also not accepting or realizing that the story you've been telling yourself is not the truth. Like, yes, you've had trauma, and yes, you might have had bad experiences, and yes, you might have been bullied. So I'm not saying those things didn't happen, and yes, they have an effect on your life, but you can always change that story, and that's
Awesome.
That is where not accepting you and moving forward and try to build a new you and starting with a blank canvas and start painting and not accepting somebody else's story that was,
how powerful that is. What you're not even realizing what you're actually saying is that before this you wouldn't have said these words. You are basically saying that I can change my story,
100%.
I can change my past, I can change my future. Whereas 6 months back, you couldn't think this way because you told yourself the same story of there's no change, there's no growth.
Yeah.
I'm in the cycle.
Yeah.
Now you're looking forward. You're looking actually there's a future that you're actually excited about. And you know how many people are trapped in that prison of having the same story, the same thoughts. And that's
I-
where that thing comes where JJ, me say, I just want to shake somebody and say, listen here.
yeah, look,
Can I just show you your story? Can I just tell you your story? So you can see that the story that you're telling yourself is a story of no hope, no growth, no possibilities.
and and you've accepted that story, and that story it's not your story. It's a story that was affected by what your parents did, or what someone told you you are, or what the world told you you are, or what your experience told you you are, and that's not you. It's yeah, it's
Because
something. Now go ahead.
no, I just want to say that, like you say, the story and everything. I'm thinking a lot about my father because it's approaching this time, and also what we went through last year. It's just I'm thinking about his story, um, of about his life and the story that he told himself. My father, I don't want to say that he wasn't proud of his life because he had a full life. He had us as children. Um, he died a happy man at the end.
Yeah.
But I just feel that the fight that he had still left in him, the fight that he had at the end, is actually the story and the fight that he could have told himself 30 years back.
Mm.
And the 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 thing that hit me hard with my dad was that I knew that same DNA is in me. I know that same fighter is in me. So I want to see if I give fully over to it, no limitations, no holdbacks, no excuses.
Yeah.
Where can this fighting spirit be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years if I don't stop? If I just allow myself to fight and never back down. So I think that's the drive in me, is to say I will never ever allow anything to not be a possibility.
Yeah. I think where people get stuck is the belief that they have that this is the person who they are and they cannot change. Um, I know for certain that's where I was stuck. I believed I was that story that I was telling myself. Um, so it's not an easy process, and you have to be willing. And this is also maybe where they get stuck, is you have to be willing to step out of that old life and build a new life. Um, you can't build something new with the same tool set that you have in your old life. It's not going to work. You have to change 100% everything about you.
That's like you need to rebuild the whole foundation,
Yes.
because otherwise you're just gonna build on a weak foundation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you go on this journey, it's like bringing it to the ground, chopping up the foundation. It's like, and it's hard, it's emotional, it's you, you're starting to feel things that you don't want to feel, and you need to wallow in that feels.
Yeah.
And it's not like a day of hours, maybe for a week.
Yeah.
But life still goes on. You still have the same struggles, same issues, same responsibilities.
Yeah.
And normally then you would go for the quick escape or the reliever. Now our reliever was the dopey.
Yes.
But now you've made a decision not to use that as your relief, your runaway, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's the difficult thing, because it's not only alcohol. Everybody has if you're the whole time in that routine of work, family, responsibilities, everyone wants a bit of a breakaway or to feel relief.
Yeah.
And everybody have their thing that gives them relief. So I had a few discussions this week, and everybody has something that the spirit calls out to say you need to change
Yes.
because there's something that's forcing you to the relief.
Yes.
It's something that you're doing that you're in the core of yourself not happy with. And that's where you just said you need to be so brave and willing to make that leap of faith because it's against your old ways of doing. Remember, we find comfort in our abuser we know,
Yeah.
even if it's our abuser.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the time the story or the subconscious mind, they don't your subconscious doesn't know when you're lying or what's right or wrong. It just
That's
reinforcing
true.
what you've been telling yourself your whole life. And when you get to a place where you want to be better, your subconscious is telling you don't deserve that.
Yeah. Because of the same story that you have
Yes.
told yourself for many, many years, he
Yes.
accepts that as
That's
the
the
truth.
truth. Yeah.
That's all that it is. And that's more powerful that you just said is that if you start telling that story of a more positive nature over and over and over again, your mind will start believing that as your new truth.
Yes.
You know how powerful that is. It means that you can reprogram yourself. You can change
You can.
no matter what happened, no matter what faults, no matter what has happened in your past. It means that you can change your past by
Yes.
changing the way that you're thinking now and thinking about the future.
The
It automatically
technical
changes your past.
the technical term for that is neuroplasticity.
Sure, groot woord.
Hey, hey.
Ja.
And basically what that means is you can change the pathways in your brain that you've been through the story that you've been telling yourself. Certain pathways gets formed, but if you start telling yourself a new story and you step away from who you were and you believing into the new person, then that can change and you can form new pathways.
That's crazy. I think that's Dr. Joe Dispenza. He,
Hey, hey.
Dr. Joe Dispenza. Yeah, he's a scientist or a neuroscientist, but obviously I'm not going to tell his whole story. But they basically scientifically have proven that you can reprogram your mind and build new receptors. And if you build on that, telling yourself the new story, it's like practicing a new skill.
There's
Um, in
there's
a,
another
in a, okay.
sorry, there's another thing that I thought about during the week is all of us, every single person on this planet have a picture of who you will be or the perfect you, how you look, like a better version of you. They all have that picture. If you ask someone, well, if you could be that person, what would you do? And what I keep asking myself is what prevents people from becoming that person? Why do they believe they cannot be that person? And that has to be the story that you keep telling yourself is you cannot be that person on a very simplistic level.
It comes over as very simplistic, but if you don't have this train of thought or where we are currently, you will never think that way.
Hmm.
And the only way that you can do that is to talk to like-minded people that has gone through the same story.
There's absolutely no reason for you not being able to become that person. No reason.
There's a reason. You.
Yes. Fair enough.
Because you can't blame the world or your culture or anything.
So it's
If
saying
you
of
if you if
you're in your own way.
you are the creator and destroyer of your destiny. That's as simple as that. But
Yeah.
it gives you the power. It means that you're not a victim. That
Yes.
you're actually very powerful. But with that comes ownership.
Now, isn't that a
And
sobering thought?
that is an incredible sobering thought.
All right. Well,
And it's awesome to have because it's that little nuggets that, like you just said, you're listening to the reels or the podcast or whatever, and somewhere something will speak deep down into your heart. Once that is in your heart, now you need to start telling yourself that new story, because it's something that's given to you as a truth that you maybe didn't see as a truth. So now you bolt on that. So now you speak to your wife, you speak to people, we speak. Now you making a new foundation based on that new truth.
And you know what, Ewald?
3 weeks on, and then that's the new.
And you're free. You're out of that prison. You are free to build exactly what you want to build or be.
So how many shackles do we have? Because we put all the shackles on ourselves.
Yes, we do. So, sometimes without even knowing. Sometimes those shackles have been put on us through our past and what we've experienced and traumas we've had, and but you can either believe that story that life has sort of written for you, or you can step out of that and create your own story.
So you're saying that we are the author of our story.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there my words go. So my words is finished.
It's always strange when at the same time we don't know what to say.
Well, I think it's maybe a good time to. Our time is also running out, so it's maybe a good time to.
So JJ, I think I'm a little bit nervous about also the 22nd of March.
We'll do it.
It's gonna be a tough cookie, but I'm a tough cookie as well.
Yes.
And luckily I have a lot of support. There's two guys that I say again.
Nurse that hammy.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to your challenge, actually more than my challenge. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So on that note,
what I'm going to do, but I'm not promising. I think what I'm going to do is the last 7 kilometers I might put on the weighted vest.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah.
So guys, I just want to ask you guys, you see the picture in the background, the sobering thought. We are on YouTube. JJ will post later on this video on that, and then also all the other ones. I also posted on my Facebook page. Then we ask you guys to please follow us and then comment. And if anybody wants to join us on one of those episodes, we would like gladly to hear from you, as we still believe that everybody has a story to tell.
Yeah, please, we haven't had one comment. But I've got a suspicion, and you can give me your thoughts on this. The realer we get and the harder we push and the more thought-provoking stuff we're saying, people are either gonna two things are gonna happen. Like either gonna watch what we do, or they're gonna completely
or troll us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but
like I said, this is just us two guys having a conversation, and hopefully somebody can take some value out of it. And somewhere down the line, that little thing that we say can also become a truth for them.
Yeah.
So on that note,
till next time.
Till next time.
See ya.
Cheers, Benzer.
Cheers.